people come to detox centers is because they're tired, they're fatigued, they're running out of energy. That's one of the main reasons. The two main reasons we see here are overweight or no energy. I mean, there's really no other reasons why people come. And when someone says, well, I just want to clean up my life, what they're saying is, I don't have any energy. I don't have the energy I used to have. Right? And what do we see? What's the difference between a child and an old man? Energy. I mean, other than the way they look, energy. The child is running and the old man's, oh. What's the difference between a sick man and a healthy man? Or I mean, a sick woman and a healthy woman? Energy. When you're sick, you just don't have any energy. I'm going to go to sleep. I don't feel good. So sickness versus health is energy. Youth versus age is energy. And then the final one, what's the difference between a live body and a dead body? Energy. Now, how do you measure energy? Now, we all know there's something different. Also, there's something that is not in that live body anymore, and that's called the breath of God. And when the breath of God is gone, the body turns to dirt, to sand, to soil. But it is that breath of God that allows the whole thing to happen. But we're going to leave that out of the equation for now and just look at it on a biophysical level. On a biophysical level, if we hold a voltmeter to the foot of a person who's alive, it's going to have a charge. If we hold the voltmeter to the foot of a corpse, it will hold no charge. And I know this because in my office in the US, I have a potato clock. And it's a potato that you plug in. You got a clock and it's got two electrodes. You plug it into the potato and the clock works. If I boiled and baked the potato, would the clock work? So let's make sure we boil and bake everything quickly. Forget tomatoes, let's eat tomato soup. Forget apples, let's eat applesauce. Good idea? It turns out that the energy that we need is measured, is actually very, very distinct. It is 35 millivolts in every cell. Every cell needs 35 millivolts to function. And when your cells get down to 20 millivolts, I can't go to work today. I don't feel very good. And when you get down to 10 millivolts, you can't get out of bed. Now, if you hurt yourself and you need to heal, you need to go up to 50 millivolts. And if you have a chronic condition like cancer or arthritis or gastritis or depression, anything chronic, you need to get up to 70 millivolts. Now these charges can be measured. You can measure it on your tooth. You can get a microvoltmeter and put it on one tooth and down here like that, and you'll measure 35 millivolts. Unless you have mercury. If you have a mercury filling, it's going to go psh. Or if you have a root canal, it's going to go. And we're talking about the cell. Now the cell has a double membrane around it, and this membrane functions as, in the world of electricity, a capacitor. Capacitor is something that's able to hold a charge. So the capacitor is made by these two layers of fat that are on this side water soluble, this side water soluble. In the middle they're lipid soluble. And that defines a capacitor. Two conductors separated by an insulator is a capacitor, and that's what it is. So our cell membrane, in addition to doing everything else, having receptors for opium, having receptors for cannabinoids, having receptors for estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, growth hormone, having receptors for this stuff, for glucose, for insulin, having receptors and being able to communicate and relate with the entire environment around the cell, in addition to having all of these receptors and pores, it also functions as a capacitor to maintain charge. So would you think that that part of our body should be healthy? What's it made up of? Fats. Mostly fats, which we call lipids, about 50%. And then the rest is made up of some protein and made up of some carbohydrates. And they're all connected. But anyway, the main part is fats. And so the fats, now, keep this in mind. Every second you lose about 2 to 3 million cells, and every second you make 2 to 3 million cells. Okay, so that means your body is in a continual state of dynamic change. It's dynamic. Your body is not a static. It looks like it's just sitting there, but in 6 weeks you have all new skin. Every 3 days you're going to have a new lining to your mouth, your lips, all the way down to your colon. New lining replaced. Okay, so our body is in a continual state of dynamic change. Now, every cell in the body is made up of lipids. We have 100 trillion cells and we're replacing 2 to 3 million per second. So do we need fats? A little bit? A lot. What kind of fats? Fried chicken? How about bacon? How about beef, fat beef, fried hamburgers, pepperoni? How about, what's that stuff?
Sausage.
The stuff you eat in Turkey and Greece and...
Kebab.
Yeah, with the lamb, is it lamb and greasy?
Kebab.
Yeah, that's what we need. That you want to make your cells out of lamb grease? You think that's going to give you, you're going to be strong? What kind of oils and fats should our body need? Well, where do all oils and fats originate? In plants, in the form of seeds and nuts. All oils originate in that. You have to get the oil from that somehow and then change it, modify it to your own fats. Okay, so we should be eating a lot of seeds and nuts, and we can make nut butters and seed butters and things like that, or we can be getting this into as coconut oil, avocados. All of these things are very good fats that are necessary to make healthy membranes so that we can hold a charge. So if you're sick and you need to get up to minus 50 millivolts and you don't have healthy fats around your cells, you can't get the charge. And it's going to take you a long time to get well. And you're going to say, you know, he's a very sickly guy. He gets sick often and it takes him a long time. Or, man, you've had that cold now for 2 months. What's wrong with you? Fats, oils. That's one thing. And if you have cancer, you have to get up to here and stay there long enough to heal